Hey y'all, good morning. It's 10 a.m. Are you here with me? It's time for a little coffee talk, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. So I decided I'm a morning person. We'll start there. I'm a morning person, and so I like to get started in the morning. And I thought, why not get my, conversations, thoughts, and views of some of the things, that we like to discuss. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So you'll be able to find me here every morning from Monday through Thursday for a little coffee talk. How's everybody doing today? It's chilly. Did y'all wake up chilly? Like, I live in the Sunshine State and it's chilly. And normally I do a morning walk, but this morning it wasn't going to happen. Probably for two reasons. Because this is my first time doing this. Not my first time doing this, but my first coffee talk. So I thought, let me just stay in and, get prepared for whatever we're going to do over here in the morning. Um, what are y'all doing this morning? It's Monday morning. We down to the job trying to deal with these folks, whatever it is they talking about. I work in a hair salon. Do y'all have a hard time avoiding conversations with people, you know, as it relates to the temper of the country right now? Do y'all have a hard time like avoiding those types of conversations? I can't really get into it because if I say the wrong thing, it'll affect my money. It's not just coworkers, but let's get into some of the things. That's what we came here for. Um, I like to get on my timeline and talk about things that you know, that we all run across. So let's share the screen and go ahead and get into it. Some of these stories I haven't read like the whole story yet, so we're gonna get it together at the same time. This was interesting. How are y'all feeling about these cars that drive themselves? I'm not here for it. I'm, skeptical about the car, that drives that I drive. You know what I mean? That I have control over. You never know what's going on with these dang cars, but these ones drive themselves. And this is an Uber, what they call it Waymo, self driving taxi in Phoenix. They got self driving Waymo taxis in Phoenix. Have y'all been to Phoenix? I have not. Another unsettling incident involving a Waymo self driving taxi unfolded in Phoenix this week when the vehicle mistakenly drove onto a newly installed light rail track. I guess that's one of them trolley things that go, through the middle of the downtown. We got that here. Like you could be downtown and there's a little like trolley or whatever. I rarely see it, but the tracks are there in some places. Anyway, it's forcing passengers to exit in a panic. A bystander video captured a moment the car stopped on the tracks as the train approached, oh my God, and prompted the rider to quickly bail out. Rather than correcting itself, an autonomous vehicle continued driving along the tracks beside oncoming train before eventually leaving the area. Phoenix police confirmed they received a call but arrived after the Waymo had already moved on. No disruption to the rail services were reported. Is that it? Okay. Um, Experts say the incident highlights ongoing challenges with autonomous vehicles adapting to new infrastructure. Huh. I guess y'all better adjust that then, huh? Arizona State University professor Andrew Maynard noted that while self driving cars lack human intuition in unfamiliar situations, they still may be safer overall, really due to the absence of distractions. Even so, the latest mishap adds to growing public skepticism around the technology. What y'all think? Y'all getting in these cars that drive by themselves? I am not. Um, instincts, things like that, like a human would have known not to drive on the track where the trolley drives. So some technology, I guess, is fine. I'm not here for it. Some things I need to absolutely be in control of. I've come from the Jetsons era, and we used to, as kids, be like, "Ooh, I wish I had that." These robots that they're making do not remind me of Rosie. Rosie was like a cute little robot housekeeper that wore an apron and was very nice and could babysit the children, and she would pop those little whatever meals in their little magic microwave. That's not what's happening here. And then they always had, like, their cars flew around, which was where I drew the line with the Jetsons. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't want my car to be flying around and then I get in an accident, and then what happens? I fall to where? So, I don't know. I know I won't be driving no Waymo. What else is going on? What else is going on? I have to click all the way out, because if I don't, I'll be sitting over here having a whole conversation by myself, and y'all will be saying, I can't hear you. And if nobody's telling me that, then, I'm just sitting up here looking a fool, thinking I'm really doing a damn thing when I'm really just running my mouth for no reason. Um, this one I hadn't read yet. So, a new law in Utah will make it mandatory for extreme DUI offenders to get no alcohol sale warning labels on their driver's license and IDs. I like this because, you know, if you have extreme DUI offenses, then you need to help. You know what I'm saying? And I think you will be able to find someone to probably buy your alcohol. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be difficult. It'll be embarrassing to be down to the 7-Eleven as a 40-something, 50-year-old man asking people, can you buy me some beer? Clearly, you got old enough to purchase. So why is it that you need somebody? It says Utah is moving forward with a new approach aimed at people convicted of extreme DUI offenses, preventing them from buying alcohol by marking their driver's license and state IDs with a clear no alcohol sale warning. The idea is to make the restriction instantly visible at the point of purchase. No cashiers, bartenders, and servers can now cashiers, bartenders, and servers can quickly identify when the sale is legally prohibited. I like it. I'm sorry. I don't know how y'all feel. I don't have no problems pulling out my ID, especially now. So I guess you better be carrying that with you. I've started carrying it on my walks, which is wild because I never used to, but I don't want to get caught out here, being questioned about some shit without any ID. Anyway, under the policy, eligible offenders would be required to replace their current ID with an updated version and include the warning label. That means the restriction isn't just court ordered on paper, it follows the person into real world situations where alcohol is sold, creating an imminent barrier to purchase and removing guesswork from employees who have to enforce the rules. Supporters argue this is a common sense deterrent meant to reduce repeat incidents by limiting easy access to alcohol for people deemed high risk offenders. They also say it helps businesses by giving them a straightforward method to comply, check ID, and if it shows no alcohol sale, then don't complete the transaction. It definitely takes the pressure off of the business owners that have people come up in their establishment, get smammered, and then go somewhere and hurt themselves. And people that drink too much don't give a good darn about getting inside their car and driving around under the influence. So I'm here for it, because you're not going to be in a restaurant asking some stranger to, like, can you buy me a drink? Because I'm restricted. No, go away. Drink some juice. Get your shit together. Critics, however, may raise concerns about privacy and stigma. Whatever. Since the warning label effectively advises someone's legal status to anyone who checks their identification. Yeah, so this is the thing. If you were like just, at home and you get smashed out and you passed out in your own business, it's whatever. But when you get behind the wheel of a car and nobody under the influence is going to be making decisions that say, I'm too smammered to drive. I'm sorry. They don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't be extreme DUI offenders. And I don't know what that number looks like. I feel like twice. After the first time, it's an accident. The second time, you might need to get that stamp. Why are we going to keep waiting? Like, what's the name? Karen Huger over here in Potomac, wrapping her car around a tree, talking about, I'm going home. I'm going home. Meanwhile, the man is like, can you step aside? Your car's on fire. Jesus. Anyway, off subject. Others question how consistent enforcement will be across different retailers and venues, especially during busy hours, and whether the measure will meaningfully reduce impaired driving on its own. Um, I mean, what? You can, I need to see your ID. If you're going to bring alcohol, then I need to see your ID. And if you get caught passing, drinks over to your friend, then all of y'all can get out and everybody's in trouble. Even with those debates, the law reflects a broader trend of states experimenting with the tighter, more visible enforced tools, shifting restrictions from behind the scene penalties to sometimes that can be recognized and acted on in seconds, right at the counter. Yeah, what y'all think? I think it's a go. I think we should do it. I think we should do it everywhere. And like I said, it says extreme. It says extreme. Hey, Miss Linda, for real. You like the background? This is my new office. This is my January office. Hey, Shayna, because I like change. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be our January vibe. And as we get further in, to the year, we're going to take our coffee cup to wherever it is we decide to be. Hey, Tamika. What y'all doing? Y'all at work? Y'all at home? Y'all are listening to me, and I appreciate that. So what do you think about, drivers who have extreme DUI situations? What do you think about them being required to have a stamp of some kind on their driver's license? I like it. I feel like you can do whatever you want to do to yourself. But when you start, putting others at risk, like me and my family, take your ass somewhere and get a sticker on your driver's license, because they always seem to figure out, how to skirt around things anyway. So at least take the, people that own businesses get sued because somebody leaves their business. You could be like, they may have been under the influence, but it wasn't from here, because I looked at that sticker and I did not serve this person any alcohol. I wanted to hit on this right quick. Then we'll get back to a story. I saw this young lady, Nick Alandria. I started to call her Nick Alandria. I'm glad she's separating from that. Like, her and Nick is real cute or whatever. You think all states should do it, Tamika? Yeah, like, why not? If I don't have no sticker, I can take my license anywhere. So, if you've been out in your car putting people's lives in danger, then maybe that blow thing, they can get around that. And they'll get around this too. But at least I think, just for the sake of not being embarrassed, they'll go figure out some other way to drink at home and, hopefully stay their ass there. Maybe they get the sticker and the blow thing. So, figure it out, but don't take it behind in a car and, put other people's lives at risk. Olandria. When I saw this young lady on Love Island, and I did it, and I probably won't make it a regular thing. Love Island is for entertainment purposes, but all that kissing all on each other, after a while you're like, ugh. And it's not just kissing. I don't want to kiss you when you just put mustard in your mouth or whatever they be doing over there. Kristen Siriano, I believe, is the one that did her gown. I wonder if she ever thought that Love Island would turn into this. And I think it's because this lady looks like a beautiful Barbie doll. The special edition ones, the ones that you don't open the box, the ones that, stay on a shelf to, pass down to your children. My daughter's dad used to buy her a special edition Barbie every year. And she's not a Barbie girl. So they did sit on the shelf for a long time until my younger daughter, who is a Barbie girl, was like, I cannot play with them. They're still in a bag. I still have them, but not, not in a box on a shelf. But I say this just to say, a lot of these girls go on these reality shows, and at the end of the day, the big prize is the endorsements that they get afterwards. I've seen her on Angel Reese's channel. If you don't watch Unapologetically, is that it? Angel. Which is just her podcast, but Angel talks to all the young people like within her peer group. And I think Angel and Olandria did a collaboration with Reebok. Like the bigger, endorsements is what they get. And yeah, I'm just happy to see this. I feel like these opportunities are not necessarily open to a lot of girls, especially ones that look like Olandria, because they tried to play her over here. And when I start watching it, I was like, dang, this girl gets prettier every time I look at her, like her cheekbones. Like when you look at Olandria, you like, she's pretty. But then the more you look at her, the prettier she gets. So I would love to see her on a runway. Vogue, Paris. I think she did do Vogue. Anyway, she was at the Golden Globes. I did not watch the Golden Globes. I usually only want to see the red carpet. I didn't see a lot of the movies that were nominated, but this is the beginning of award season, so I'm going to be paying attention. Olandria is not an actress, but she will be on the red carpet. And shout out to Kristen Siriano, because Christian will be dressing the girls. He did what's her name from Orange Is the New Black? She also did Color Purple. Her name is Danielle something. I can't remember her last name, but she's a plus size beauty. And when she was having a hard time finding something to wear on that red carpet because they only want to give, the size 0 girls a dress, Christian stepped up and, did the damn thing. So shout out to both of them. Christian is our favorite Project Runway winner and also mentor. We love Christian. Tiana. It's a beautiful gown. This lady has a beautiful body. Hair, makeup, everything. I think we love Tiana so much at first because she was there on the Sweet 16. And we were like, whose daughter is this? Where did she come from? She had her own very cool sense of style back then. So we've got to watch Tiana do all these projects. She's not just beautiful, though. She's talented, too. There's a, let's see. There's a clip of her acceptance speech at the Golden Globes. Like I said, I didn't watch. And I didn't see the movie. I'm going to have to make it a point to go check it out. I know I didn't see the other one either, Sinners. There was a lot of talk about. There's always movies that people think deserve accolades that they don't always get. But yeah, here she is. Did I save the speech? I didn't save the speech. But here she is like, oh, here we go.
The speech because I didn't think I would get this. Oh, my babies are upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me right now. Oh my God. First, Father God, in the name of Jesus, I thank you and I praise you for every part of this faith walk. Every lesson, every test, and every blessing. Thank you to the Golden Globe voters for seeing me and reminding me that purpose always finds this moment. To my mommy and my daddy, it's up for y'all anytime. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here with me tonight. To my tribe, oh my God, my grounding force, my joy, my daily reminder that love is an action, not just a word. And everything I do is rooted in that truth. To Paul, let him cook, Thomas Anderson. Thank you for your vision, your trust, and your brilliance. My gratitude is endless. I love you. We love you. And thank you so much for holding space for me and our entire cast. Leo, Sean, Benicio, Chase, Regina, everybody, the crew, every single person who has touched this project. None of this is taken lightly and none of this is taken for granted. Oh my God, this shit is heavy. Pam, Mike, Warner Brothers, Sarah, Cassandra, Natina, Lee, WME. This whole journey would not exist without you and your support. I love you and I thank you so much. And last, but most importantly, to my brown sisters and little brown girls watching tonight, our softness is not a liability. Our depth is not too much. Our light does not need permission to shine. We belong in every room we walk into. Our voices matter and our dreams deserve space. Thank you so much, everybody. A party in the back.
I love that. That was a nice speech. I'm happy for her. I don't like to get into whether she should have got the award. I've heard that conversation. I don't know. I haven't seen either movie. I think we're allowed to have our opinions about who should receive things. I've been up for many awards that I thought I should have won. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes the award is not necessarily the reward. Sometimes you're there in those spaces. She gave that lovely speech. She looked beautiful. And so this is her foot in the door. Like, she's been working very hard, but this is her foot in the door. She's ripped every red carpet that she is on, hopefully. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be here to talk about it. That she's on during this award season. And, sometimes February, I think, is the Met Gala. And Art Basel coming up in March. I think I have a lot of did y'all make resolutions? I'm a Capricorn, so resolutions are, can you see that? I'm a Capricorn. Resolutions are what start my year, just because my birthday starts the year. So after Christmas season, you got to get rid of all that old energy, old stuff from the previous year, and get into what's new. So every year I hear about Art Basel. And obviously, I didn't plan for it this year, but it's in Miami. So I think for next year, I want to plan a trip to Miami to check out Art Basel. But yeah, shout out to Tiana Taylor and Nicolandria. Not Nicolandria. I have to stop doing that. Olandria. Shout out to Tiana Taylor and Olandria for making a vision for the next generation to look up to. I believe Alandria is like a graduate of HBCU. I want to see more of her, even if it's just on the cover of magazines and runways and things. What else is going on out here in these internet streets? There's a couple of subjects I didn't really like. I just wanted to come over here, rap to y'all. That's what we do. We have our coffee, we have a little chat, and we talk about some of the things. Some of the things I'll wait until tomorrow. I saw this. I thought this was cool. I think it's a good start. Houston Texans player Aziz Al-Shaair has been fined $11,593. Where'd I get that number from? 11,593 for wearing eye black that contains the Stop Genocide message. I mean, it was worth it for him to, spend that 11 and a half thousand. Houston Texans linebacker Aziz Al-Shaair has reportedly been fined $11,593 by the NFL after wearing an eye black that included the message "Stop Genocide." The fine stems from a uniform and equipment policy violation. Really? Okay. With reports indicating the leagues categorized the phrase as an unapproved personal message displayed on a player's equipment. I mean, I guess on one hand, I get it but I feel like he knew that. He knew that when he did that, he was like, this is where I'm going to spend this money at. So I can't be mad at it. The message appeared during Houston's wild card win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was visible not only during play, but also in post-game coverage. According to reporting cited by multiple outlets, the fine was first surfaced via ESPN reporting. The NFL's uniform rules have long restricted players from displaying personal messages on game day apparel and accessories unless they are specifically permitted through league programs or approvals. I can't be mad at that as an organization. Otherwise, it'd be all kind of stuff written all over everything. So they got to just draw a black and white line for that one. In practice, that means something as small as an eye black, often treated as a routine piece of gear, can still trigger discipline if it contains words or symbols outside of the policy. The incident has drawn attention not just because of the fine amount, but because it underscores how the league enforces its messaging rules, even when players use relatively subtle formats. Similar enforcement has shown up in recent years in other high visibility situations, including the NFL's fine of the 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa for personal message displayed on apparel during post-game media. I don't know what he said on his clothes. Adding to the story, Al Shair reportedly wore the same message again in a subsequent appearance, that he may have signaling that he may be willing to accept additional penalties to keep making the statement. I mean, he in it at this point. I guess he got it. Beyond and the Texans are no longer in the playoffs, so he did what he needed to do. But what else you gonna do besides? Because where's that money going? I get it. I get the message, but let's put the money to good use. What is it gonna do? The NFL gonna keep it and do what with it? I'm not mad that he did it, but it's kind of to me equivalent of posting stuff on your social media and hoping that employers don't see it. It ain't gonna cost you on the front end, but it might on the back end. Because a lot of people, as soon as they get in trouble, they start pulling up their social media and being like, "This is what they said in 2012." Beyond the immediate discipline, the fine is likely to fuel an ongoing debate the NFL regularly faces: how to balance the tightly controlled, sponsor-driven game presentation with players' efforts to use their platforms for personal and political expressions, especially when those expressions are tied to global events and humanitarian issues. How about this? Stop genocide. Good grief. We making a whole argument about whether you can say it. How about we just stop doing it? And the fact that they have to put this into play and then charge this man $11,000 plus for doing it. Where'd y'all come up with that number? Who was somewhere in an office with a calculator and came up with 11,593? What y'all think? Is it worth it? Should we keep doing it? I say I don't have it. I would have to, if I wore something over here, it's my channel. There's still a risk though. There's a risk of somebody not liking what you said. So, are you going to stand on business? Because standing on business right now is complicated. So I guess we have to all decide which business we're going to stand on. I'm still trying to figure it out, honestly, because you don't know how much you can contribute. You have to make decisions that, because you see these people that are, boots on the ground for real, protesting and, getting the word out. But it's funny. I feel like the protesters are boycotting also. But for us, it's just a matter of being careful where we spend our money. And I know during the holidays, they cut off the food stamps and the people, were out here stressing because they didn't think they was going to have no food. You saw people at food banks. And so I get why it's difficult in a time like that. But, and I get that it's difficult to just change regardless. So even if we're doing it little bits at a time, then you start making a difference. You start moving the money and we won't get into that just now. We go keep it light. This is the first coffee talk. I don't want to be over here stressing people out or stressing myself out while I'm over here, bringing up things that, are uncomfortable to talk about. But okay, Aziz, I'm not mad. But like I said, let's do something else with that money because, it is what it is. The people said they can't drink alcohol. So this is wild to me. There's not a whole lot said here about it, but a newborn baby getting its ear pierced seconds out of the womb sparks controversy and debate. What do y'all think about that? Why would an even hospital do that? Because I feel like, and as a parent, like I'm sure I've done many things that didn't make sense. However, that's one of my regrets. I wish I didn't get my girl's ears pierced. And my son. My son was a baby with one earring. I think he's got two now because the kids just get pierced nowadays. But I did the same for my girls. I went and got their ears pierced, and I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I would have just let them, all three of them, make that decision for themselves. Now they might still end up with pierced ears at some point. You want to wear earrings, and there's not a whole lot of clip-on options, and clip-ons are horrendously painful when you wear them all day long. So yeah, and I'm thinking, as you get a little older, clip-ons probably make your earlobes all saggy. And so, yeah, why would a medical team do this to a baby? I feel like when I did get my girl's ears pierced, they make you wait like a certain amount of time so that the earlobes the baby don't even have fingernails. You just came out, that baby is still got goo from birth. And there's earrings. I think, the mama is stupid, extremely stupid, but so is the medical staff. Where would they do this? Where was this at? I don't know. Maybe I'll follow up, see if I can find any more on this story. Because who in the heck pierces the ears of a baby? I always go back. I don't think I necessarily have to, but every time I don't, then I end up, like I said, talking in for naught because y'all can't hear me. So if I just like start from the beginning, then I feel more comfortable when I share the story. This one hits a little close to home for me. New Maryland law requires barbers and cosmetologists to complete 1 hour of domestic violence awareness training to recognize and respond to signs of DV starting January 1st. Now, this is happening in Maryland. I am a hairstylist. I don't know why this is put on me. Let's continue. House Bill 1547 introduces a new requirement for barbers and cosmetologists to complete 1 hour of domestic violence awareness training when applying for renewing their license. The goal of the law is to equip professionals with the skills to recognize and respond to the signs of domestic violence. The training will focus on identifying warning signs, learning how to navigate sensitive conversations, and practicing effective listening and communication with individuals who may be experiencing abuse. It will also provide guidance and connecting victims with local resources and support services. Stop it. By integrating this training into licensure requirements, the law positions barbers and cosmetologists as informed, supportive points of contact for individuals who may be facing domestic violence. Let me tell you, first of all, they're making barbers do this for what? That's part of probably where half of them go and discuss their toxic masculine behavior. So I don't know what good that is going to do. When we renew our licenses, it's every other year, and an hour is not an hour of my time necessarily. It's added into it's probably a paragraph added in, to our renewal booklet that we have to go over, answer questions, and it's not that big of a deal. But I just think, first of all, if somebody is sitting in my chair, what are you going to say? We can't talk about politics. We can't talk about religion, but you want me to get involved in a situation that is domestic violence? This person, like, all I can do is listen. Okay. The number, did you call a hotline? What other kind of information can I offer to someone? And I'm going to tell you, over the years, I don't believe I've ever run across that, but people will definitely sit in your chair and discuss all kinds of personal things with you. I hear a lot of things. It's not uncomfortable with people that I've known for several years, but I know that there are people, that speak to you in confidence. I just had it happen this weekend. I just had someone come in who was going through something pretty traumatic in her relationship that, I'm not gonna lie, it had me concerned as how the outcome was gonna be. But at the end of the day, how involved am I supposed to be? Because this person, I'm sure they have mother, brother, sister, some of them, that they don't confide in, they don't tell, and then they tell their hairstylist. But I mean, all I can say is, call the people, find a, and if that's all it's gonna take is us to have a hotline, I think that's also, I'm gonna maybe have a name of a place, but I feel like, what is they adding this for? I understand, like, we have to have specific HIV training. I think it's like 16 hours of HIV, but that affects us directly in a way where, that's a CDC issue. That's not okay. I don't know really what to say about that. It's definitely not funny. I just think it's a situation where why would, this be a place that you require us, just give us the hotline number. Like, how do you navigate that conversation? I would say it's based on the nature of your clientele. So, and then a lot of stuff pops off in barbershops and hair salons. You see people getting dragged. Don't bring it over here. Whatever you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Don't bring it over here. I don't want your person who's clearly has violent tendencies thinking I have anything to do with what's going on in your relationship. Scary. And good luck getting help in a barbershop. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, barbers. It is what it is. I don't know that that's like, I don't know that that's the most effective place. Most of there's men sitting in there. I guess it happens, but what man is going to go in the barbershop and talk about being domestic abused? I thought this was cool, so I want to share.
A Black engineer who solved an impossible problem in 1976. Gerald Lawson was working at Fairchild Semiconductor when the gaming world was collapsing. Every console could only play one game. Companies were going bankrupt trying to sell expensive single-purpose machines. Industry experts said programmable games were technically impossible, but Lawson had a revolutionary idea: removable cartridges. His Channel F console became the first system to use interchangeable ROM cartridges. Suddenly, one machine could play dozens of different games. This breakthrough saved the entire industry and enabled the Atari 2600, Nintendo, and every console that followed. As one of the only Black engineers in Silicon Valley during the 70s, Lawson held the foundational patents for cartridge-based gaming. His innovation created the multi-billion-dollar video game industry in gaming culture we know today. Gerald Lawson is the forgotten father of modern gaming. Did you know the entire video game?
Not the forgotten father, but we're going to remember him. Gerald Anderson Lawson, December 1st, 1940 to April 9th, 2011. And he was an American electronic engineer. Besides being one of the first African-American computer engineers in Silicon Valley, Lawson was also known for his work designing Fairchild Channel F video game consoles, leading a team that refined ROM cartridges for durable use as commercial video game cartridges. His innovations in this area led to his being considered the father of game cartridges. He eventually left Fairchild and founded the game company VideoSoft. That's dope. You don't really ever hear about these types of stories. You know why? Because they said he was the forgotten gaming father, but we're going to remember. And it just reminds us like how much contribution, that we made to a lot of things that we don't necessarily get credit for. So shout out to Gerald. Love that. That's the kind of stuff I like to share with my kids. I'm the only person in my house that's not a gamer. I don't do gaming things, and it is what it is, but my family is very well versed in it. I'm gonna get to this and then we'll get to a little bit of juice over here with these reality stars. Ladies, what do y'all think about this?
Any final questions between the two of you before we determine if we have a match?
It was commented that the outfit is teetering towards risque. I'm a fashion guy, so I have a level of tolerance, but I want to know if we would call this a 6 in a scale, a 1 to 10 scale. This is a 6 for how revealing it is.
Okay.
On a normal basis and on your social media, where is the average?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, probably about a 6. This is probably as much as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take it up a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'll let you decide. If you and I got to know each other better and decided to proceed, if I asked you to tone it down just a little bit, would that be a deal breaker for you or no?
Probably. Yeah. I want to wear what I want when I want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ciao. That music might get me into trouble. I'll have to deal with that. What do you think about that? This is a pretty lady. She's got on a little cat suit situation. I don't watch Pop the Balloon, but I guess, the premise is once you find out something you don't like about the person, then you pop the balloon and that's it. You out of the way. So, yeah, he comes up here. He's dressed very nicely. Not a bad looking guy. She's a beautiful lady. And he decides that her outfit is risque. I don't know where this conversation came from, if it was something that went down between these other guys standing over here, but I mean, risque to me is up to it's a subjective conversation, honestly. I feel like she's a little, petite sized woman, and regardless to what you think, may not be, the most politically correct thing to say, but everybody can't wear a little cute cat suit. But he said, is it a game changer? Would you be willing to change your style, to tone it down a bit in order to be with him? Absolutely not. Why you like me like this? You know what I'm saying? And then when, we consider the situation, all of a sudden now you have things that you need to tone down. I think if your little ego can't handle this lady wearing what looks nice on her, you know what I'm saying? You're not looking at her going, what the heck? She giving you a little side cleavage, but I mean, she's over here trying to attract a man, apparently. So you're like, I like it. Turn it down. Get the hell out of here. I feel like let's don't do that. Let's don't pick people that are requiring you to change who you are. Let's pick people who like you how you are. So, that's just one of those things that go in the red flag bucket. Girls trip. Are y'all looking forward to that? I was, but not anymore. So Nene has had this ongoing fight with Bravo that we've all heard about, that, now she's over here acting like, first of all, are you on the I want Nene back train or the I don't want Nene back train? I don't care. I feel like as housewives go, Nene, just like Cynthia, y'all are kind of aged out. The show, you wouldn't be hanging out with, well, Nene would, because she'd be out in these streets doing a whole lot. Yeah, I just feel like I'll let y'all listen to this and then we could talk about what we feel like afterwards.
Okay. It's your girl, Nene Leakes. Okay, so where do I start? This has been a really long, long journey. And gosh, I'm happy, overjoyed to say that I will be returning to Bravo. I almost can't even believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. First, I have to thank a lot of people here. I want to thank Francis Burke. Andy Cohen. So many executives behind the scenes who have worked to make this happen. So many people that have continued to throw my name in the ring over and over again. Thank you to everybody over at Bravo. Thank you to all the people over at Truly Original. Thank you to Shed Media. Thank you to the producers on the ground who are calling and texting me and wanting this to be an amazing thing. I'm so happy to do it. I'm so happy to do it for you guys. Thank you, Darren Ward, for talking me through everything when we talked a few weeks ago and cried on the phone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I have to thank some of the housewives that I know that have continuously kept my name, being said behind the scenes. Portia Williams. Yeah. Thank you so much. You know how I feel about you. You're my little sister. Thank you. I appreciate everything. Phaedra Parks. Thank you so much, Phaedra, for keeping my name going. And all of you guys and all of you ladies who constantly say my name and keep my name out in the ring, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for it. I'm just doggone excited to do this. I'm excited to see all of you girls. It's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. Yes, bitches, I am back. Okay, now pick your faces up off the floor. Okay. See you on Bravo. Love you.
She said, pick your face off the floor. I mean, I guess. How do y'all feel about that? Nene coming back. Like I said, I'm a neither here nor there kind of girl. For me, it kind of don't really matter that much. I feel like it was a whole lot of, it was like an acceptance speech. Nene came in with thank you for this and thank you for that. And okay, so basically she did all that. And I'm trying to look for what I say. She did all that, but she's not. So Nene is not part of the cast of the girls' trip. She's just going to be making an appearance. So that was a whole lot. Like, if you're not familiar, Bravo has decided they're going to do a cast trip. And they've picked housewives that are going to travel from here to there. It's a road trip kind of thing. And Nene is not one of the cast members. So they have casted Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City. I'm here for that. It'd be good, kind of interesting to see Lisa doing things away from Salt Lake City with other women and see like how her energy translates amongst women that are not on her cast. Luann. Why? We have seen Luann and Sonia go to the country, get drunk, do whatever, everywhere, down to the hotel. I don't need any more of Luann on any of these trips. Like, y'all took her off of New York and then, constantly put her on every season of everything. We know what Luann is all about. I don't really care to see it. Portia, why? We know what Portia is giving. Y'all have put her on several trips. So I don't see the point in having Portia there. This is like the same old show all over again. Vicky, love it. Vicky's back. She's coming back to OC. Vicky is one of the housewives that gets on my nerves, but also serves entertainment at the same time. So I would keep Vicky there. I would keep Lisa there. I would keep Vicky there. Kyle, for what? Kyle is, why Kyle's head looks so big? She should take that thing off her neck. Kyle, we've seen it. We don't need it. Kyle gonna come over there and pretend while Mauricio is over here, down to Colorado making shows with Giselle. Giselle, is he on your roster? If he is, I'm not mad. Teresa, She's also another one. Like, I would only keep Giselle, get her out of here. We tolerate her on Potomac because we don't have any choice. But I don't need it over here. It would be interesting though to see how Lisa and Giselle get along. Lisa will probably kiss her ass. But yeah, I would get rid of all of them and keep Lisa and Vicky. But so will I review it? No. Will I talk about it? Maybe over here. Maybe a coffee talk. I'll come, talk about it a little bit. That's if I watch it. I did not watch one single episode of Love Hotel because I didn't want to see Giselle and Ashley Luann do anything. Nothing. So yeah. What y'all think? Are y'all gonna be watching the girls trip with these girls that we didn't ask for? Whole time Nene is over here giving an acceptance speech for a show that she's, barely gonna be on for what we understand. I'll probably watch that episode. That's the one I want to see. And Nene is a lot too. So y'all keep trying to sell Nene as reality TV gold, and maybe back in the day, I would have to see. I don't have to see Nene like that. Bethany has something to say about it.
Going back to Bravo. So Nene and I have a good relationship, and I'm so happy for her for whatever makes her happy in her life. And everyone makes decisions for different reasons, emotionally, financially, career. On Nene going back to Bravo. So Nene and I have a good relationship, and I'm so happy for her for whatever makes her happy in her life. And everyone makes decisions for different reasons, emotionally, financially, career. On Nene going back to Bravo. So relevance, whatever anyone's choices, I'm thrilled for Nene. And I want to mention a couple of things. One, I've never in history heard of someone go after a company, relevance, whatever anyone's choices, I'm thrilled, and take legal action for different accusations, and then that company hire them back. That's just an interesting dynamic. Like, I don't know if there are any other examples of that, but and take legal action. I pitched to Matt Anderson, who is an executive producer on Miami and Atlanta and New York, a road trip show with just me. I pitched to me and myself, where I took her to see my friends and visit things I'm interested in throughout the country and different restaurants, etc. And she would take me on hers. And they said that me and myself, where I took her, she was kryptonite and toxic, and that they couldn't touch it, that the producer could never touch it. So I'm not in any way saying that they stole my idea. Road Trip has been a movie, and many people have had different road trip shows, nor do I care. And if they do or did, she was kryptonite and toxic, and that they couldn't touch it, that the producer could never touch it. So I'm not in any way saying that they stole my idea. Road Trip has been a movie, and many people have had different road trip shows, nor do I care. And if they do or did, she was or did great. But it's just an interesting conversation on how, like, time heals all wounds, or not everything is as it seems in the moment, or about, I don't know, I think it's like a positive thing in, like, or did great. I mean, the bridge was not burned because they're doing this show with Nene, with the same concept, except that this is a group of people, and mine was just about her and I alone, but it was literally for us to go in an RV across the country. Receipts, good shit also to Jen O'Connell, who remembers. But food for thought, because you guys love the tea, so maybe that's some tea. But I'm very happy for Nene Leakes, and I wish her all the best in her adventure life and on her road trip. Your receipts.
So that's what Bethany had to say. What y'all think? I think I would rather see a road trip with Bethany and Nene, to be honest, than, this same old bullshit that they're recycling over here with Portia and Luann and Giselle. But, nobody asked me. Anyway, y'all, we've been here for about an hour. It's been fun. I will see y'all tomorrow at 10 o'clock, because that's when I plan on being here to give y'all a little coffee talk. So in the meantime, everyone, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I'll see you when I see you.